So, as I'm sure everybody here knows, about a week ago, actually probably closer to 5 days, Trump was inducted as President of the United States and immediately got to work establishing a new world order with himself as the head. Jokes aside, one of the first things that he started his term on, and in fact the thing that probably won him the election, was the promise that he would get rid of a lot of illegal immigrants in the United States. And if you've been keeping up, he's actually been doing so. ICE has arrested quite a number of immigrants, illegal immigrants, who have been committing felonies in the United States, and personally, I think that it's a good thing. This specific thing is very good. However, not everybody agrees. In fact, the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro, has announced that he will in fact not be allowing U.S. military planes carrying these illegal immigrants back to Colombia to, land on his country. Trump obviously reacted to this, and for those of you who aren't aware of the Donald's demeanor to being combated, well, let's just say he doesn't take too kindly to it. But I think that our boy Asmongold did a pretty good reaction to this situation, and so let's see what he has to say. Let's see the little montage that his editors, the ones actually in charge of Asmongold's channel, put together for us. Yes?
I think for
That's not the correct video.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced that he will not allow the U.S. military planes carrying Colombian migrants to land in Colombia.
I already said that, Asmongold. You can move on with that part of the video.
This decision comes in response to what Petro perceives as a criminal treatment of migrants.
See, I think that was actually a typo on President Petro's part, because this was actually the treatment of criminal migrants
By the U.S., stating that they must be treated with dignity. Consequently,
I disagree, okay? Because looking at a lot of these news articles, pretty much every single migrant that was thrown back was either a murderer, a drug dealer, or a rapist. So at that point, I don't know. I feel like you've kind of rescinded the right to dignity. I feel that way.
Sequentially, 2 U.S. military flights returned back, escalating tensions between the two countries.
Okay, so that's a pretty good summary, right? Now, the question is, if you are the president of the United States and you are trying to get rid of criminals that aren't even from your country, aren't even citizens in your country, they are citizens in another country, and you're picking them up and you're throwing them back, and the person from that country is going, no, we don't want them. What would you do? Right? It's a little bit of a sketchy situation, right?
And so Donald obviously goes to Twitter to talk about it.
Obviously.
And I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights with a large number of legal criminals were not allowed in Colombia. The order was given by their president, and who's already very unpopular.
I do love how Donny T immediately throws in a couple shots, like their president, wait. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who's already very unpopular amongst his people. Very unpopular. This isn't me saying it. This is what other people tell me.
His denial has jeopardized the national security, public safety of the United States, so I've directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and...
Now, this is big dick moves by Big Donald, right? Like, this is just hilarious. He said, "Oh, you're not gonna do what I want? You're gonna say no to me? Okay."
decisive retaliatory measures. Emergency.
And I do like that he immediately states this is retaliatory. This is because you didn't do what I said. I think that that's kind of based. Because we all know that it's retaliatory. It's very obvious. But I think that any president other than Donald J. Trump would have said, no, no, this is because of some of the tension. This is because the Colombians are being very, very bad in some other aspects. Meanwhile, Donald Trump says, nah, 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 nah. You didn't do what I wanted. Fuck you. And I kind of love him for that.
See 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. In 1 week, the 25% tariffs will be raised to...
It's so fucking huge, dude.
This is, bro...
That is huge. And that's not even it, right? Travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Boom, right? Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Boom. Now, this does not extend to Colombian citizens, I think. I could be wrong here. But immediately he said, you guys want to be assholes? Let's be assholes. Immediately. And I kind of love him for that. This is going to be 4 years of peak content from the US.
We put the mafia in the White House.
He is the Don, as you see here. But it's like, I don't even agree that I don't agree that this is mafia tactics. I think that this is, you either work with us or we don't work with you. It's funny to say it's mafia tactics, because it's kind of strong-arming them into doing what you want. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump just wants to get rid of criminals, right? And let's say he gets rid of, say, just the top, like, 10% of extremely dangerous illegal immigrants who are committing crimes, who are dealing drugs, who are, actually dangerous to the population. Because I don't think it's going to be more than that. Like, I think that a vast majority of even illegal immigrants kind of just wanted to get away from where they were, and they didn't believe in the proper methods, and so they just snuck in, and now they're just living a normal life, right? Those people aren't going to get caught by ICE, most likely, by the simple fact that they're not committing crimes. If you don't commit a crime, if you live a life of being a law-abiding citizen, paying your taxes, you get a good job, you start a family, you do all of this stuff, I think that you have a very good chance of just completely bypassing this problem. At the same time, I don't think that they should get away with it. I think that they should, actually go, hey, I would like to be a legal citizen, which is an avenue that is open in the US. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you can absolutely do that, I think. At least I've seen evidence of that being the case by both people who live there and, actual, like, politicians talking about it and law enforcement talking about it. Like, I could be wrong, but I've seen enough people talking about it that I believe that is the case. Regardless, let us continue with this video.
Oh my god! The 25% tariffs were raised to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations of the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. A visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds.
Yeah. We are now treating your country as a hostile nation. If you want to get in, we are searching you top to bottom. Hey, thank your president.
These measures are just the...
Wait, he skipped this last one. IEEPA, Treasury, Banking, and Financial Sanctions to be fully imposed.
Beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of criminals they forced into the United States.
And at the end of the day, it is an obligation, right? These are Colombian nationals who snuck into the US to commit their crimes in the US. The US isn't responsible for these people. The US doesn't need to take care of these people. The US shouldn't be paying tax dollars to take care of them. The US should be picking them up and throwing them over the border. And that's as simple as that. Fuck around and find out, Colombia. That's funny.
Oh my god.
That is funny. I do think the memes are hilarious so far.
That's an overkill? Well, let's find out.
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think it is. I think overkill would be like an immediate invasion. This is okay. We are suffering, paying millions of dollars because of these illegal immigrants from your country who are now coming here, endangering our citizens, making worsening the quality of life, making people feel unsafe. Right? Okay, pay for it, or take them back. One or the other. And I think that Colombia should take them back. I think that that is part of their obligation as a sovereign nation.
We are following breaking news at this hour here on Live Now from Fox. You're taking a live look at the White House as we have learned that President Trump...
Place is kind of a shithole. They gotta like, maybe they should put up some like extra towers, like
Gold all over that bitch.
why don't they have like a couple angels on the side of here?
That would, like, imagine that they just go full 40K. They go, you know what? Nah, this needs, we gotta step up the game, right? Like, make this a monument in and of itself. Like, you've got the Washington Monument right there. The Washington Monument should be like half the height of the White House.
With like gargoyles on like the corners. Yeah, we could really, we could renovate this shit.
Now
That would
order
be
an
crazy.
action to be taken against the...
That would be so insane. Not just because it would be an insane thing to do, but also because I think the reaction of people who hate Trump would be insane.
country of Colombia, saying, quote, I was just informed that two repatriation flights
Repatriation.
from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in
Illegal criminals.
Colombia. This
I think it's shortened because I don't. Did he say illegal criminals? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. My bad. Disregard.
informed that two illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia.
Gundams on the
This
roof.
order
Somebody said
was
it in the
given by
comments.
Colombia's socialist president, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. His denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States. So
Yep.
I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. And he also just shared that information in a social media post. Some of those measures include an emergency 25% tariffs on all goods.
Bro, come on. This is stuff that we already know about.
Also issuing a
Oh wait, he was talking here.
25% tariffs will be raised to
Yeah.
50%.
I want to see Asmongold talking.
Absolute.
Because she's just reading the tweet that I read and then Asmongold read, and now we're just watching the news read it. Come on.
Mafia tactics.
It's not a mafia tactic.
It's not even kind of like it.
No, it's not a mafia tactic, right? Because mafia tactics would be like sending him pictures of like their monuments, right? Like, that's a nice monument. Shame something would have happened to it, right? Or rescinding protections, or stuff like that. Denial, forgetfulness, shit like that. No, this wasn't mafia tactics. Absolutely not. This wasn't nitpicking. This wasn't moving the goalpost. This wasn't like bringing in other people to do stuff. No. This wasn't any of that. This was, sorry about that. This was pure and simple. You either do your part in this international community that we are all a part of, or we are going to impose sanctions upon you. Because we, the U.S., are a much more powerful, and I'm speaking as if I was the U.S., I'm not, but the U.S. imposes sanctions because the U.S. knows that it is a far more powerful economic entity than Colombia. And so, of course, Colombia is going to be in a bad situation because of it, but this isn't mafia tactics whatsoever. Not even close. Mafia tactics would not be nearly as nice as this.
It is.
It's not.
That's absolutely it.
It's not.
also issuing a travel
damage
ban
multiplier?
and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters.
See, mafia tactics would be if he had revoked the visas and then immediately arrested all of them. And then said, hey, if you want them back, take these illegal immigrants as well. That would have been mafia tactics, right? This isn't mafia tactics. This is okay, if you want to behave this way, we are no longer friends.
Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government, enhanced customs
Make
and
an
border
offer you can't
protection
refuse?
inspections of all Colombian
No.
nationals and cargo.
Because it can only be an offer, because here's the thing about the offer you can't refuse. The offer you can't refuse is you either pay us for protection or we're the ones you're going to need protection from. That's not the case here. Trump basically just said, hey, you want to deal with the US because the US is one of the top 3 economic powers in the world, I think. So either you take these criminals, they're your criminals, you either take them back or you don't get to play ball anymore. That's it. It's as simple as that. I genuinely believe that this is not mafia tactics whatsoever.
On national
It's
security
perfectly fair.
grounds, treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be.
Totally right now.
We will not allow.
Yeah, no, he just was totally like, yeah, nobody's coming in here. We're going to totally shut you down. You can't send anything here. We're sending everybody from your country back to your country right now, and that's it. Like, he totally went nuclear on them instantaneously. Yeah, like, it just instantaneously did.
The Colombian
Over 2
government to
planes.
violate its legal obligations.
It's not over 2 planes. It's not. It's not over the 2 planes. It is over the fact that they are sending back these immigrants, right? And if these 2 planes get sent back and there is no consequence, every other plane is getting sent back as well. Not just from Colombia, but from Mexico, Venezuela, all of these other countries. I don't know if Venezuela is like, I don't know. I don't know which country is a part of the US or not. But every single one of these other countries would send back these planes. And at that point, it would be too late. So yes, the moment that this happens, if you're as big as the US, any resistance is seen as a victory. It's just the way it's always that way. When you have this massive titan and it says, hey, take this, this is yours, take it, and you say, no, go fuck yourself, everybody goes, ooh. Because here's the thing, if Trump had done nothing, within a day, everybody would have been gone, see, Trump's a bitch. Trump is a bitch. He's not going to do nothing. He's as incompetent as any of them. Nobody's afraid of Trump. Nobody takes him seriously. No. Trump said, take your criminals back. Colombia said no. And Trump said, all right, trade tariff impositions, sanction. That's how you have to do it. When you're as big as the US, you cannot take any amount of resistance lying down.
Obligations with regard to the acceptance.
Much less resistance that really shouldn't be happening. Because, as I said before, these are Colombian criminals that are being sent back to Colombia for Colombia to take care of Colombian citizens.
And return of the criminals they forced into the United States. This is a look right here.
And I'll be honest, if I was the president of Colombia, yes, I would much prefer if my criminals were in the United States. Because they're out of my fucking hair. I can keep my crime low. I can impose that crime on a country that, I probably don't like very much. And I'm much happier for it. But of course, if I'm the US, if I'm the United States president, I'm sending those criminals back. And then if they say no, I'm saying, okay, sanctions. Right away.
There it
here
is.
of the social media post that he just
25%.
issued there on Truth Social. That's on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yep.
On the right-hand side of your screen, that is a social media post by a Fox News journalist, Bill Maluzhin. As we
Fox
continue
News
to
now?
follow
Yeah,
this
that's
breaking
me.
news, as we have learned that President Trump now ordering action to be taken against Colombia after 2 flights from the
Man.
United States.
But
Shepherd
we need to get to the funny part because they immediately, yeah, there it is. Immediately, Colombian President Gustavo Petro reversed his decision because he looked at those trade sanctions and went, ho, ho, ho. Yeah, no, just drop those criminals off. Just bring them back. Just bring them
Gustavo
back.
Petro has reversed his decision and is now reportedly offering his presidential plane to help repatriate
Repatriate deportees from the U.S. Yeah, of course he immediately showed his belly. Because what the hell was he gonna do? Was he gonna fight a trade war against the U.S.? No, he can't win that. No one can win that. Not in the West. Maybe China could. Maybe not, considering their current economical situation. But yeah, this was an absolutely beautiful exchange. And hey, who knows? Maybe here in Europe, the same thing will start happening with criminals who are from, outside of Europe getting sent right back. Yeah. All he can do is laugh because it's kind of a funny situation, right? It is kind of a funny situation. I don't think there's any more to this video. It's just those things. Yeah. Oh wait, no. There is something that is quite important. Because he showed it. And now I need to also show it. Let me just open it up because this is genuinely such a beautiful picture. Such a beauty of a picture, right? It just really incorporates the whole situation. And by the way, I want you guys to know Trump posted this picture himself after the Colombian president caved in, right? He posted this himself, and I think that that's beautiful. He really said, "I'm the Don," using X's groks. But with all that being said, I'll just leave it at I think that this is a pretty good thing. I absolutely think that the U.S. should not take any disrespect from the source of these illegal immigrants who are committing crimes, who are endangering the populace, who are doing all these things. I absolutely think it's a good thing that they're being sent back, and I absolutely think it's a good thing that when the presidents of these countries that are receiving their criminals, again, basically getting their criminals sent back to them, they try to resist. They try to say, no, we don't want them. I absolutely think it's a good thing that Trump is imposing sanctions, and I think Europe should do the same thing. It's like, oh, you're from another country and you're coming in here, violating our laws, violating our culture, endangering our citizens. Okay, you can go back. Oh, but our country is at war. I don't care. Go back. Because if you're going to come here and destroy our country, destroy our culture, damage our people, hurt our people, endanger our people, we don't want you. Why would we want you? Every single time that you don't do that, every single time that you let massive amounts of immigrants into your country, and then you don't do the work to make sure that they know that they have to follow your laws, crime goes up. Happened in Sweden, happened in Italy, happened in France, happened in Germany, happening in Portugal, happening in UK. And the end result is always the destruction of your culture, the destruction of your people's comfort, and it's not a good thing. And keep in mind, I'm not saying no immigration. I think immigration is a wonderful thing. You bring in the talent from other countries to make sure that their culture, the good parts of their culture, can be melded with the good parts of your culture. And this makes everybody better. from food, from clothes, from just cultural customs, from scientific discovery, all of these wonderful things that we enjoy are from immigration. But if you don't treat it carefully, if you don't make sure that, hey, yes, you can come to yes, you can come into my house, but you're going to respect my house's rules. Because if you don't, I'm going to kick you out. Because it's my house. It's my country. You're coming to my country. You respect my country. Please. It's as simple as that. If you're not going to do that, if you're not going to respect my house, if you're not going to respect my family, if you're not going to respect my country, my people, why would I want you here? I think it's as simple as that. I think most, if not everybody, most people, if not every people, everywhere, agrees with this. I think if you go to countries in Asia, everybody thinks this. I think if you go to countries in Africa, everybody thinks this. South America, same thing. Everybody agrees that if you go to somebody's house, you respect the rules of the house. You respect their laws. You respect their culture. You respect their customs. I'm not the most, Christian guy, but when I go to the house of somebody who is, and they say, let's say grace before eating, I don't say grace and start eating. No, I say grace with them, because that's their thing. And if I was incredibly religious, and I went to the house of somebody who isn't, and they said, hey, we don't really say grace, it's not really our thing, I would say, that's all right. Can I say grace by myself? And you guys can eat, and I'll just be quiet for a little bit, and I'll say my grace, and then I'll eat. And most of the time, people will say that's fine. And other times, people will say that's not fine. And that's okay, right? I think that if it's your place, it is your place to establish those laws. And if those laws aren't being respected, it is your place to say, then we don't want you here. And I think that that's exactly what Trump is doing right now. I think it's one of the things that won him the election. That and the promising of lowering costs on groceries and gas and all that stuff, which hasn't happened yet. They seem to be doing the work to get there, but they haven't yet. It takes a while, right? That sort of thing isn't instantaneous. But we'll see. We will see how that goes. I'm quite curious. But, as I said, let me know if you agree. Drop a like, drop a dislike. Drop a comment. Tell me how wrong I am. Call me all sorts of names. That's okay. That's okay. Genuinely, I want to know whether or not you agree with what I said. I want to know whether you think I'm wrong, whether you think I'm right. Genuinely, tell me. I want to know. But, with all that being said, I'll leave you guys for now. See you next time. Have a good one. Cheers.